Okay. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say call, halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, the great Ali Shaidah of Israel, the great I am, the possessor of heaven and earth, of the spirits of heaven and earth. Also bless his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Hamashiach, the light of this world, the one who died for Israel and rose to sit to become his Father's right arm, my Redeemer, my Comforter, and my salvation, and only one that pleads his blood over Israel, the only nation granted for salvation. And giving respect to the high prophets, great millstone, who I received from Yahweh Shem Yahushai through his begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to the prophets, to the high prophets, great millstone, shalom to you brothers, and they give me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from on high, hallelujah to that, and they keep us brothers and sisters that are following them out of the dark, and we know everything that's now, we know everything about our past, and we know what is to come for the future. Shalom to the Akim, the brothers that's laboring in the truth, and your own. You don't have to be from Great Millstone, but you can follow them and attend their classes and learn from them. So if you're doing things like that and you labor in the truth and you're doing it on your own, then shalom to you. You know what I'm saying? And you doing your videos, you on the highways and byways, and you're risking your freedom in your life to do so as well. Shalom. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters that's learning. And whether you got a man or not, you still fear the statutes and the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And you learn in silence. And there's nothing wrong with learning in silence. There's nothing wrong with allowing your man to speak for you. There's nothing wrong with, following Yahweh Shem Yahushai, statute, commandments, and fearing the Lord. And you learn and you listen in silence. There's nothing wrong for women to do that. Shalom. So coming back at you with another another presentation, and it's through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in the name of Yahweh Shai, hallelujah. And it's a lot of bad things going on. I'm gonna show you this video real quick. I'm gonna get a quick scripture as well. So this is chapter Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 46, verse 3. It says, "Order the buckler and shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses and mount up, you horsemen. Stand forth with your helmets, polish the spears, put on the armor. Why have I seen them dismayed and turned back? Their mighty ones are beaten down." It says they have fled. They have speedily fled and did not look back, and fear was all around, says Yahweh. Do not let the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They will stumble and fall toward the north, by the river Euphrates. It says, "Who is this that's coming up like a flood, whose waters move like the rivers? Egypt rises up like a flood, and its waters move like the rivers." And he says, "I will go up and cover the earth. I will destroy the city and its inhabitants." It says, "Come up, O horses, and rage, O chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans who handle the shield, and the Lydians who handle and bend the bow. For this is the day of Yahweh, a day of vengeance, that he may avenge himself on his adversaries. The sword shall devour." It says, "It shall be satiated and made drunk with their blood." It says, "For Yahweh of host has a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates." So meaning that the Lord is gathering all the nations for war, and the Lord is putting judgments on America. So I'll show you this quick video right now, and then it's going to lead further into my looking further in. No, we're gonna go further into my presentation, because this has a lot to do with America. And right now America is afraid of Russia, and they don't want to fight Russia, but like everybody been laughing at these white people and they in Russia, in America, they nation, and they laughing at them, and everybody laughing at them because right now they afraid of Russia and they don't want to stand up and fight. But before the nations were powerful, they was going around bullying and doing harm to everybody, putting sanctions on them, putting sanctions because they was using the petrodollar and just harming them and doing damage to them. So before I get more into my presentation, I want to show you this quick video because this is important.
Clinging to bare life because of policies that were imposed. As I speak to you right now, people across Afghanistan, children, women, men, people young and old, are starving to death, freezing to death, clinging to bare life because of policies that were imposed when the Taliban took power after 20 years of war.
Yep, and that's just okay. So, giving a perfect example of what they've done to not only Afghanistan but to a number of other nations. They would hit them with terrible sanctions and cut off their water supply and their food. You know what I'm saying? Their electricity, and they would collapse their government. And sometimes they will go into these places and invade them and kill their leaders and replace them with dummies, and these dummies would do according to what they wanted them to do. So now the time is coming to where America is about to be destroyed by the very nations that they terrorize, because they no longer depend on the petrodollar. And this is where the presentation is comes in, and this is what it's all about: the fall of the petrodollar. A couple of days ago, Saudi Arabia just decided to transfer over to yuan dollars, and they decided to join with China and Russia for the oil reserves, and they are dismissing America. So America has nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, which is going to come to my next video, because right now America is about to be on a rapid decline due to them not being able to sell the petrodollar sell the oil with the petrodollar, and everybody using it. Now everybody is dropping the dollar, and they're switching over to either ruble or yuan. So a great number of nations is switching over to Russian ruble. They don't even call it a dollar out there. And this was already decided like 2 to 3 years ago. Like, we all knew about this 2 to 3 years ago, that the great collapse would come. And we knew that all the nations were voting out, were dismissing America and the dollar, and switching over to to another currency. So right now, as we speak, around the clock, the nations are switching over to the new ruble or the yuan, and doing trade with oil with them, and dismissing America for good. So now America is about to be on the free fall drop to decline and to collapse. That can happen instead of a matter of months. It can happen within a matter of weeks. And it was crazy because I had a dream yesterday that I was watching in the spirit. I was watching some of the richest, some of these rich white people that own, like big things, you know what I'm saying, own serious shit. And they were arguing with each other, and they were negotiating on how they was negotiating on how they were gonna keep everything afloat, and didn't look too good during the meeting. A lot of the white people was arguing with each other, trying to figure out how they're gonna make it work. Some of them was saying that it's irreversible. A lot of them was like, there's nothing that we can do about it, because right now, due to what Saudi Arabia and India have done, they are making America go into a collapse. So now America's on their verge of collapse, because the dollar that we use day to day is useless now. It's no longer even, it's backed off nothing, and it's no longer even used in the oil trade. So America is being the roles are reversing. The same thing they did to these other countries is the same thing the other countries are about to do to America, and they're already doing. And so they're going to force America to work with Russia and China, which are the superpowers of the world. And America is no longer a superpower. Well, we all knew about this for years, but now it's coming to a head, and it just happened. So now we about to see a great hyperinflation, and when it gets to a certain height, it's going to explode, and then the economy will collapse. So, and these nations are determined on dismantling America for all they tyranny. So we can get a couple of Bible scriptures real quick, because this is actually very bad. Well, it's good for us, but it's bad for the Edomites and, the white man, Go to Isaiah. Or Jeremiah. It says, "Thus says Yahweh, behold, I will bring back the captivity of Jacob's tent and have mercy on his dwelling places. The cities the city shall be built upon its own mound, and the palace shall remain according to its own plan. Then out of them shall proceed thanksgivings and the voice of those who make merry. I will multiply them, and they shall not diminish. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as before, and their congregation shall be established before me. And I will punish all who oppress them. Their nobles shall be from among them, and their governors shall come from their midst. Then I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach me." So that's what's happening. The more and more the prophets call, Yahweh Shem Shai in the Lord's true name, the Lord is allowing us to draw closer to him. So the more and more we draw closer to the Lord, the more and more these disasters are happening. So God is actually responding to the men of Israel and their sighs and their cries, the work that we doing to the best of our abilities, to the higher up teachers that's breaking down the scriptures. He's actually hearing the children of Israel's prayers, and he's responding to their prayers. So right now I'll bring out another video, and it'll show you that Yahweh is responding to to our prayers and allowing this place to be brought down so we can get out of this captivity. It said, "Behold, I will bring back the captivity of Jacob's tents and have mercy on his dwelling places." So the Lord right now is the captivity of Jacob's tents is only talking about the remnant that's wanting to leave America, wanting to leave this horrible place, and the Lord is preparing to destroy America, and this deadly blow is making it official that America will collapse. Right, because right now America is mad, and they're going through a temper tantrum right now, and they're putting sanctions on countries, but it's no longer working if they're not using your dollar. It won't work, and they're actually transferring over to the ruble, to where Russia will take care of the nations, and the nations will abandon America. And then they had this scandalous news reports, these false fake news reports, that Russia stands alone, and Russia's being backed by the BRIC nations. So the BRIC nations, they have their back, like Africa, like China, India, It's like other two more that I don't remember, but those that I mentioned, they are a part of the BRICS nations, and Russia is being backed by them and being protected by them, which is making it harder for America to just run up on Russia, and it's actually making them a little bit more scared that Russia is dominant in power, and they're allowing China to be power as well. So everybody is doing trade, and they're abandoning America. So America is on a speedy decline of hyperinflation. Then they come out with this joke that they'll just print more money, when the money that is flowing out to these countries is coming back to America, and they're not, these U.S. dollars aren't being used at all, which is causing the inflation to go into the hyperinflation mode. This is Jeremiah 29, chapter 20. It says, "Therefore hear the word of Yahweh, all of you, the captivity whom I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon, says Yahweh of hosts." It says God of Israel concerning Ahab the son of Koliah, if I didn't pronounce it right, and Zedekiah the son of Messiah, who prophesied a lie to you in my name. Behold, I will deliver into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he shall slay them before your eyes. So right now, the pastors are telling everybody that, everything is okay, that things are going to get better, that, another God is coming to save them, and they're actually leading them into lies, so they're lying to these people. And the people that go with the slave trade doctrine, everything that they thought would happen is not happening. Something different is happening, and it's going differently according to what they've been taught. So right now the Christian churches are actually pretty much done, without the backing and without no solid information on how a white man is going to come save them. They are just finished. So everything is going different, contrast to what they are teaching, and they are lying, because so they think that as soon as the collapse come, that the devil will come out the ground and fly up to heaven and go and fight God, and then he will fall back down. The Lord, Jesus Christ will come, and then everybody that's good will be beamed up, and everybody that's bad will be left here for the great tribulation. And this is where we get into the point to where they're about to look really stupid. They look stupid as it is, because they're not breaking down any prophecies. They don't know what's going on. I know a number of Christians heard about the collapse of the dollar, so right now they are actually afraid, because nothing is going according to the slave plantation doctrine. They don't see the devil. They don't see no man glorifying, what I'm saying, with lying wonders, like he got power to shut up the heaven and close the heaven and to make it rain with, just by pointing, like I showed you in the last video. They don't see that. It's not according to the scriptures, and these people, the more and more they are residing in the white man's world, the more and more they're losing their sight, and they're losing their knowledge. So these people, they really don't know what's going on. There's only so few people that choose to pay attention to the truth and to see what's coming, because the collapse is coming head on. The nations are very angry at America, and they serious about the petrodollar being dropped. So I will go to another video that'll support that. One of my teachers, King Yehuda Maccabees, he had dug up some critical information about the petrodollar and how they deal with it, and what the consequences would be if the other nations would leave. And we already know the consequences. Just like they told you it was hell on earth for Afghanistan, it's about to be hell on earth for America. So
countries using our money, oil from Russia, and using Russia had to convert their money
And you see what he said. So now that the petrodollar has been dropped and America is on a great decline, it's going to be a domino effect. And in time, it's going to affect the everyday worker, the everyday person on the street. And America right now is trying to switch over to their own digital currency and also ditch the dollar, and it's going forward the collapse. So, right now as we speak, and the time is ticking, and the people and the masses that just don't care is going to hit them the hardest. Because you got people with families, you have people that work hard, day to day. You got people that got hella bills and that have car notes and they own a lot of things. That's why, and the Bible teaches us to live a simple life and not to pursue the things of this white man, this white man's world. Don't try to find your place here, because the time is coming to where a lot of people that thought that they found a place here and their children found a place here, they're actually about to be destroyed, and it's about to be very detrimental, especially if you have a family, especially if you have children, because they're about to start cutting everything off and shutting everything down, because people are going to respond. They're not going to respond well to the hyperinflation when everything just skyrockets. What they're going to do, they're going to riot, okay? They're going to riot and destroy everything, especially when, and it's going to cause the dollar to collapse, because they're going to figure out, and America is going to go into certain stages during the hyperinflation, which is going to cause things to shut down. Because instead of America sanctioning the nations are going to sanction America. And America, being the tyrant that they are, they ain't going to bow down. They're not going to just go with the new regime with Russia that's being assigned right now, So like he said, India just bought $3 million of oil from Russia, and they went around America's dollar, and they no longer using it. So now India is a part of the ruble, which is not even a dollar. So it's some other currency. And America is seeing that. And plus Saudi Arabia just joined with the yuan, and decided to trade resources and oil with China. So, and right now they're about to tell you, how important Saudi Arabia is to America.
We got money, folks. And this helps. The petrodollar is actually a device invented by Kissinger and Nixon. The standard of living of all Americans can be traced.
And you see that it says the American foreign policy is centered on protecting the petrodollar. Whoever threatens its existence faces war and sanctions. So, due to America falling and being destroyed, America is going to go into a rage and then go to war with the other nations. That's what's going to happen, because they can't stand to see someone else in power besides them. And they could care less about how people feel. They just want power, which is exposing the Babylon, which is the white man, Satan, exposing him to the world, because the Lord said he would expose him to the world, It says, this is Jeremiah 30, chapter 5. It says, "For thus says Yahweh," it says, "Now these are the words that Yahweh spoke concerning the children, concerning Israel and Judah. It says, for thus says Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace." Because the riots are this is really about to burst into flames. Okay, these riots and these famines and these pestilences, and the pestilence is the petrodollar being dropped. That's a form of pestilence too. So it says, "Ask now and see whether a man is ever in labor with child." And it's explaining, and they were breaking it down. The prophets. It's funny how I got to this one, because they were breaking this verse down. It's explaining how disgusting America is. They allow gays, child molesters. They allowed trannies, women that transfer into men and are able to still get pregnant. So according to the doctor and according to America and they wicked rules, they would actually treat this woman like a man, and then be like, okay, even though it's a woman, they would label her a man, and she's a pregnant man. So that verse it goes really deep into just how disgusting America is and the wickedness that they do, and a lot of nations are aware about the story of slavery, so they constantly laugh at America and talk about America and make fun of them, like you still work on the back of slaves. Look how you treat your slaves. Look how you treat the people that built your that built your world and built America. So the nations are aware of America's tyranny. So, and the prophets was also getting into different even though I heard it before, getting into the different companies that are backed off the children of Israel, today, like Chase Bank, like Wells Fargo. Those are banks that are backed off the children of Israel off slavery to this day, and like what's another one? Different car companies like Ford, Dodge, like Mobile gas station, fucking Shells. It's like different other major companies that are still backed off the children of Israel. They even have different M&Ms. They are another company that's backed off the children of Israel off slaves. They have what you would call old money. So the money that they got so rich off slavery during that time, with the triangular slave trade and bringing us over here. They got so rich off us during that time to where they still using old money, and they have the new money today that they haven't even touched yet. That's how much of a profit the children of Israel was, with the Black Friday, with Christmas, Halloween, different days they would sell us, and give us away to different other people and have us building buildings and they skyscrapers. And whenever we made inventions, they would kill us and they would take our inventions and put it into their name. Another story, a story like that is Thomas Edison. How they said that he invented a light when he didn't. Israelite invented the light, and he just invented the light bulb. So he wanted his invention and he wanted his idea, and he wanted to figure out how he made the light shine, because Israelite, a slave, a brother, a brother created the light, and he just made the light bulb around it. So they didn't really, and it was scandalous how they came out with the movie Thomas Edison, and they didn't give no credit to the Israelite that actually created it. So a lot of creations come from the children of Israel, and the white man would do like he would usually do, and take their resources and kill them and say that it was his and he made it, he created it. So, right now it's all coming to a head for America, because their dollar is no more good and nobody is buying it. Nobody cares about it no more. And if you like I just showed you, places like Afghanistan and different other places like Iraq, places that they've sanctioned and they've attacked, now it's switching around on them. Now America is being attacked by the nations and being assaulted by them, and it's not looking too good for America now that they dropped the petrodollar. It's not looking too good. But those are a part of the it says ask now. It says we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask now and see whether a man is ever in labor with child. So that, before I talked about all that, they are allowing different things to take place, like teaching your children in school that it's okay to be bisexual or transgender, or gay. They allow these different laws to pass, through, and they do not care about it. So it says, so why do I see every man with his hands on his loins like a woman in labor? It says, in all faces turn pale. It says, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it, and it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. It says, for it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh, that I will break his yoke from your neck. So it's an economic collapse that's shortly about to take underway. And when the children of Israel, which is these wicked 2/3, when they don't get the food and they can't afford to drive their cars, they can't afford to take care of their kids, they can't afford to put them in school, they can't afford to take care of their big bills, because it's a lot of people that still are under the eviction crisis, that in everything in their house that they've owned and everything that they said that this is mine, I did this all by myself, their bills are crashing in on them. And then when they find out, and the hyperinflation kick at its height, and these people start rioting, and the dollar collapses, then Jacob is going to attack the Edomites, which are the white people, and they're going to go for them, and they're going to take their goods, they're going to kill them and take their homes, they're going to take everything, So that's a part of the yoke. That's the yoke of iron being broken off, is the collapse. And like this lady said, she said the collapse, now that the petrodollar has been dropped this week, the collapse could happen way faster. So they're estimating the time of the collapse happening during the summer. So, it's best just to keep a good lookout and to prepare, because now that we know that the dollar is no more use and the nations aren't using it, the hyperinflation is going to kick in during the summer, and everything could collapse during the summer. So everybody is preparing. It's a lot of people that's leaving America, people with serious money, and people that's been using the children of Israel to make money off of. They gathering all the money that they made, and they going to other nations, going to go trade it with Wuyan and Reuben, putting their money into that, and leaving America for good, because all of these rich people know that the riots and the chaos is about to come right after, after what just happened this week. All hell is about to break loose in the next couple of weeks. The lady had also said that you only got like a month before the oil skyrockets, because they know that this is the last oil that they're going to get. They know that, so the oil is going to skyrocket. These cars, they're going to stop running soon, and they only have a little bit of time. You only have a little bit of time to prepare. Like, the clock is about to run out. There's no more time for America, and this place is about to just burst into flames, man. Ain't no way out of it. Like they say, ain't no fixing it, ain't no printing no money gonna keep this place going. There's nothing you can do about the hyperinflation. It's undone. So America is on its final leg, and it's pretty much the final leg just broke, and now you really about to see some hell like cover this place. And the promises of Yahweh is coming to pass, that we will be set free. This is how we're gonna be set free. So
Back to here, the vast oil-rich deserts of Saudi Arabia. In the early 70s, after the Arab crisis happened with the oil embargoes, OPEC basically tripled the price of oil to the Western world. And at that time, America realized that they were vulnerable because they were importing about 70% of all the oil they consumed. To secure a reliable foreign source of oil, U.S. President Richard Nixon sent his Secretary of State and National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger to Saudi Arabia for a secret meeting. The result was a pact that still stands to this day. If Saudi Arabia, which at the time was the world's largest producer of oil, would sell the oil in U.S. dollars, America would defend Saudi Arabia and make sure the House Assad would stay in power. As a direct result of this U.S.-Saudi agreement, all other oil-producing nations also adopted the dollar as the de facto medium of exchange. Demand for it increased exponentially all over the world, and soon it had a new name, the petrodollar. Your currency is only as strong as the demand for it, just like anything else, the supply and demand.
And you see what the man said. You see how serious that is, and all the nations have just dropped the petrodollar, and people didn't notice that. That you think that America is actually making money on their own. They cannot live on their own. They live off the nations, and the nations, they were all using the American dollar. So if you go out there, you would literally see the American dollar in different forms, like yen, like the Reuben, like African dollar. It was a dollar, so now it's being switched over to a different currency, and everybody is dropping a dollar. So America was making gazillions off these different nations. Now imagine, like he said, now we're seeing, we don't even have to imagine it no more. Now we're seeing the consequences of what's happening when the nations vote out of the American dollar. So this is actually detrimental. America is broke. And America was always dangling by a thread ever since 1942, I do believe, the Great Depression. They've been dangling on a thread, and it's funny because they've been acting like they big and bad, and all the nations had to do was transfer over to a different currency, and now America is done. America is about to fall, and it's about to be pretty terrible, about to be bad to live out here. Anybody that that knows what's coming, and they got like money and they rich as hell, they're moving out of here. And they've been doing it. They probably moved out of here for like 3 to 4 years ago. Some people are already in different other nations, hiding out and watching America from other nations and seeing what's about to happen to it, because they know that the collapse of the dollar already happened. So in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of other things happen.
If oil starts trading in non-petrodollars, such as gold or a basket of currencies, or if China and Russia start trading in yuan and ruble rather than US dollars, that demand isn't there, and the way of life for the average American will be done. It will be worse than the Great Depression. To date, anyone who's potentially threatened the status of the petrodollar hasn't fared well. Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi publicly pushed for a Pan-African gold-backed currency that he would trade for Libya's oil. He was killed during a U.S.-backed revolution in 2011. Just a few short years before, Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein advocated selling oil for euros. This hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages
Biden, Obama, which is what he picked up from, and got rid of everything Trump did prior. Okay, and you say what you want about Trump. He's a businessman. He made deals. He did good. Okay, and he tried to get us independent. Now we're back to where we were, and they have pissed off most countries of the world. So these countries no longer want to do business with us. They are now taking other monetary things other than the petrodollar to deal in oil. First, it was 60%, and then.
So I'm gonna stop right there. I want to grab a couple scriptures. All right, and just go into what she's saying. All right, give me one moment. All right. So this is the time we in right now. I want to grab the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and there may all the earth drunken, right, with what democracy, her philosophies, her ways, all right, her agendas. It says the nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Because what all these nations, all right, got the American dollar, ain't worth shit. And what they got a lot of money invested in America. All right, all these nations come over here to get rich off America. All right, let me grab a quick precept to that. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Let me grab this. Ezekiel chapter 30. Let's see if it's 31. Yeah, let's go to Ezekiel 31. And let's, all right, let me grab this right here, because this is what this is going into. All right, let me just start here at the top. It says, let me start at verse 2. It says, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and to his multitude, who are like thou in thy greatness, right? That's America. It says, Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shattering shroud, and of a high stature, and his top was a...
Well, that concludes that, but still, it's still to stand, that America is over. There is no more, like we said, and like I say in my previous videos, there is no tomorrow. You got these stupid ass people that's teaching their kids to go to school, teaching them to go to college, teaching them to graduate, to go be something. Maybe in the next couple of years you'll be rich. That is long past, and that is a lie. Maybe back then, their generation now, they got rich and they, got comfortable, and they made something, what I'm saying, in life. But right now, as we know it, there is no tomorrow. There is no kids graduating. There is no kids making it, what I'm saying, making something out of their life. The Lord has passed it's about to pass judgment on Esau and his children. So it's goodbye America. There is no more hope for this place. There no more happiness. Everybody that's turning up now, having fun and talking about they getting prepared for the summer, they about to go do stuff. You got wicked ass people that look down on people that don't have nothing, and now it's coming to pass to where the same people that used to laugh, what I'm saying, these the same, the people with all the money that go and turn up and go party all night, these are going to be the same people that's going to be dead in the streets, because the collapse is actually closer than what people would believe, and like the lady go on further in the video saying that you only got 3 to 4 weeks before you see an incredible spike, before everything just bubble up and these prices just go haywire to the point to where people are rioting, and it wouldn't be, like I said, it's gonna be hell on earth, man. So if the prophecy takes effect, well, it is taking effect, but when these events take effect during the summer, it could be a bad summer for everybody, because everybody thinking that it's gonna be bright, it's gonna be cool. No, only the people that chooses to see life and to see reality for what it really is and know what's coming, and it's about to be a great collapse, and it's gonna be one that's so great you ain't never seen nothing like this before, so it's just bad times, man. You know, white man he's in some serious shit, and he about to fall. You know, so we're about to witness that, and the other nations are making America a laughing stock right now. But you know, for the children of Israel, for those of us that know that Yahweh Shem Yahshua is doing this in the grand scheme of things, we know what time it is. So the white man knows about the children of Israel and those of us waking up. So right now he in the process of pointing a finger at the prophets. You know, don't when everybody coming to beat his ass, everybody he gonna be like, oh, don't point the finger at me. It's the prophets' fault. They did this to me. You know, it's the children of Israel. They did this to me. And everybody gonna turn their direction to the children of Israel and be like, you know, you right. You know, them dumbass niggas, you know, that don't want to see America fall. They want this world. They want this to last forever. And me, knowing me, I don't want to be poor forever. I don't want to be just constantly working until one day I die. You know, and I don't want to be working no bummy ass jobs for the rest of my life, striving and struggling to nowhere. You know, and due to Jake being in captivity for a while, they like this weird captivity shit. Oh no, master, nothing gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mindset of the 2/3. They will rage, they will fight, they're gonna agree with the white man, and they're gonna blame the children of Israel because they refuse to go back to God. They would rather have the white man over them, and he's godless, so they godless too. And they're going to come after those of us that defend the word and love the gospel, and whatever the Lord told us to do, we did it. You know, so that they're going to be astounded, like, how in the hell did you guys know, you know, especially GMS, how in the hell did they know 20 to 50 years before the crash was going to happen? How did you know all these things? And the prophets, they're going to be like, well, you know, we knew because God told us, and you chose not to listen. And there's going to be people in those days that's going to be coming to and wanting to be saved. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't going to be no more time for that shit. You know? It's going to be people that it's going to come upon suddenly because their life has been so grand and so amazing in their eyes that when it hit them, they're not going to see nothing coming. They're not going to see none of this coming. You got people that would rather look away and pretend, you know? That's like somebody looking at a flood and just turn around and just keep working, and then the flood just hit their ass. So that's just how dumb and retarded our people are. You know, they like going out to go party. They like going out to go eat. They like turning up. They like going to go see everybody and being everybody's face. They like doing drugs, gangbanging, all kinds of wickedness, prostitution. You know, they like to have, these niggas are weak. They like to have women over them, you know, a certain authority over a man. You got women wanting to be men. You got men wanting to be women. There's all kind of disgusting shit. Little kids that are gay, you know. Little kids that are murderers, you know. So, you know, America, when all this comes down, as sickening as it sounds, these people like to have it so. So, you know, get another scripture right now. It says, for it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from your neck. That's the economic collapse. No more jobs, no more slavery. And will burst your bonds. Foreigners shall no more enslave them. There you go. But they shall serve Yahweh, their God. So whether the 2/3 like it or not, they got to come home. They got to come home. They have an inheritance for them, and God will kill them just to bring them home. As simple as that. It says, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. Therefore do not fear, O my servant Jacob, says Yahweh, nor be dismayed, O Israel. For behold, I will save you from afar, and your seed from the land of their captivity. It says, Jacob shall return, have rest, and be quiet, and no one shall make him afraid, for I am with you, says Yahweh, to save you, though I make a full end of all nations where I have scattered you. Yet I will not make a complete end of you, but I will correct you in justice, and will not let you go altogether unpunished. It says, for says Yahweh, your affliction, for thus says the Yahweh the Lord, It says, your affliction is incurable, your wound is severe. There is no one to plead your cause, that you may be bound up. You have no healing medicines. All your lovers have forgotten you. They do not seek you, for I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of your iniquities, because your sins have increased. Why do you cry out about your affliction? Your sorrow is incurable. So that's for the 2/3 that don't come back. Why are you crying out? Why are you getting mad? Nobody is coming to save you. You know? Why you turn into the white man? The white man is going to kill you, and he's damn sure not going to be able to help you during these collapse. He's going to be too busy trying to move up out of here. While they locking up the borders and they letting martial law loose because these riots are too great for police to contain. And these police is finally getting their work, because these people, these wicked people, as soon as they realize that there's no more money, as soon as they realize that there's no collapse, they tell you in the Bible, Judah shall be a terror to Egypt. And these white people, they're going to get their ass whooped. So that's what's coming, and that's why white people are afraid. And the white man is mad at the prophets, because the prophets had, called on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord responded and brought the hammer down on Esau. So now the hammer is coming down, because the children of Israel, we've woken up, and we know who our God is. We know the true name of the Lord, and the Lord is in motion. So now the Lord has did a deadly blow to America. The blow is so bad to the point to where it's irreversible. It cannot be fixed. The collapse of the dollar can't be fixed. Their debt not going to be fixed. Right now, the trades are being locked up, so there's no food going from one nation to another, and they're going into a world famine right now. Everything is being locked up, and the Lord is getting prepared to bring a great famine, pestilence, and the sword upon America. You know what I'm saying? So America is about to start going through all these things, and great disaster is about to come down upon this place. And, like she said, it's going to be a major spike in oil. It's going to be a major inflation during the summer. Now that they've done this, and I wouldn't be surprised if the riots happen during the summer. It says, because of the multitude of your iniquities, because your sins have increased, I have done these things to you. So our people won't turn back from their wicked way, Our people won't turn back from what they're doing. They love money. They love to be with the white man so much that they willing to kill to stay in this place. And their sins are increased so bad to where the Lord has to punish them too. So it says, therefore all those who devour you shall be devoured, and all your adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Those who plunder you shall become plundered, and all who prey upon you I will make a prey, for I will restore health to you and heal your wounds, says Yahweh, because they have called you an outcast, saying, this is Zion, no one seeks her. So that's what's happening right now. We're going to start healing, and the white man is going to start having wounds and petrifying sores. And then the last thing that the white man won't, which is going to happen to him, he's going to get the yoke of iron placed on him, and he's going to have the chastity belt placed on him. He's going to have the fucking fetters of iron placed on his hands and on his feet. That's the last thing. And that's what the white man is running from, his jail sentence. Because the Lord is about to bring a major collapse and a major destruction upon this place to get us up out of here. It says, their nobles shall be from among them. This is Jeremiah 30 verse 21. Chapter 30 verse 21. Their nobles shall be from among them, and their governors shall come from their midst, because the Lord is going to send Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to rebuild the world and allow the Israelites to rule over all their enemies. So they're going to be the new government. It ain't going to be no white people being a government and doing all this dirty, sneaky shit and destroying and starting shit, and then just sit there and pretend like ain't nothing happening. Like they didn't do any of this. Like this just is the way it is. Or what the white man would say, that's just the way of the world. Man, shut the fuck up. We glad that we glad that the nations finally dropped the dollar. We glad that America is over with. We know America is over with officially because of what happened this week. So it's over. What the white man gonna do? He just, the nation's gonna sit there and watch him go broke until he collapse. So it says, and their governors shall come for their midst, then I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach me. It says, for who is this who pledged his heart to approach me, says Yahweh. You shall be my people, and I will be your God. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goes forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It will fall violently on the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of Yahweh will not return until he has done it. So they're going to wish that the riots never stop. They're going to wish that people will stop killing each other. They're going to, hope that people stop burning everything down, and that this is just some sort of reaction of what's going on with the hyperinflation, when it's going to keep going. It's going to keep happening. It's going to get worse and worse. And the people that's going to see no end to it, they're going to go crazy, man. Some people are going to commit suicide. Some people are going to go crazy. Some people just going to drop where they at. They can't believe what's going on. They can't believe what they seeing with their own eyes. And everything that you said that wasn't going to happen, or it was going to happen within 100 years, is happening right now. So, and it says, therefore the fierce anger of Yahweh will not return until he has done it, and then until he has performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days you will consider it. So it's now. The latter days is now. So this is pretty bad, for America. It's not really, that's not a good stand at all. And as the white man is falling, the curses are falling upon him and his children. So the more and more the white man is being destroyed, the more and more the Lord is healing his children of Israel. And then soon we'll be back on top. But right now we going through the Lord is actually putting those of us that's calling upon him through a healing process. Stop doing the things that we're doing. We start turning our attention to the Bible. Start listening to, Great Millstone, the brothers, you know what I'm saying, that's preaching the truth day in and day out, and they haven't stopped. They go harder and harder because they know that the times are near, and just in case a white man tries to blame them, they be on camera nearly 24/7. The brothers ain't doing nothing at all, which is going to come to my last video right now. And this is retarded. We all know that this shit is staged. Fake shit. And you have Jacob, which is working on the side of the white people, and they're already in process of pointing the finger of who to blame. In the gospel, it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. So that's what's happening. I've seen a lot of brothers that know the truth commonly, whether on the buses, in front of stores, on the sidewalk, in the places where everybody turn up. I've seen people talking about it as well, knowing the true name of the Lord, and some people trying to make their attempts to make it back to Yahweh, because these different events are waking up the children of Israel. A good number of them are waking up. I'm not going to say all of the children of Israel are waking up, because they not. And some of them are just so dumb. Right now they going retarded because I guess it's like spring break or whatever. So a lot of them is just going retarded and just mega turning up with the white people. And white people just doing stupid shit and going to go buy everything. Won't stop bothering the stores. Keep harassing people that's just trying to work and live. Smashing these fucking, just going on a dining dash with these fucking fast food restaurants, feeding they fat kids and all that. But it's a part of the grand scheme of the Lord. Like he said, he fattened up these cattle for the slaughter. You're gonna be so fat you ain't even gonna be able to outrun these jakes. You're not gonna be able to outrun your enemy. You so big, you're gonna have to try to hop in the F-150 to get away. You got some of them so big and so fat, they rely on their cars everywhere they go. They don't even walk no more. Half these people, You got these white people looking down on the children of Israel. And for the 2/3, it's like, why would you want to be with somebody as horrible as that? They don't even like you, you know? Why would you want to be like them? Why would you want to be joined unto them? Well, they're going to end up dying with them. And I'm not going to step down. I was telling the nigga on the bus, like, these white people going to captivity. I know them white niggas hurt me. I don't give a fuck about how they feel. It doesn't even matter anymore. And I still tell them to their face, I'm not going to withhold the word of the Lord for you. No, I'm not. And it's inevitable that we're going to end up getting into it with Esau and the 2/3 that back him up, because this is what this video is about. These wicked 2/3 that's backing up Esau. And they doing like stage coups on the children of Israel and blaming them and trying to make us into a form of the terrorists, knowing damn well, see, that's the spirit of the Lord right there, that 144 right there. So that's God right there. Just, you know, God is always watching. But it's all a part of the plan. And there you have it. The white man is getting ready. As soon as everybody is coming at him to beat him to death, he gonna point the finger. Don't get me. Go and get them. They're the ones that you know that said these things, and they are terrorists, and they the ones that caused the collapse. That he gonna try to blame the collapse on the children of Israel, the prophets, those of us that defend Yahweh, the name of the Lord. He's gonna try and blame it on us. You know, and you know, it doesn't even matter, you know, at the end of the day, because it's the grand scheme of the Lord his name is going to be glorified, because it said in the Bible that this will happen. But then the 2/3, they're going to reveal their true hearts. They don't care about God. Some of them just say shit just to say it out of their mouth. When this collapse happened, there's no food, there's no water, there ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna reveal they real hearts. You know what I'm saying? That they godless. They ain't gonna care. You guys did this. You know, fuck y'all. Y'all must have pulled some sort of witchcraft to do all of this. That's not God. You know, they're really gonna go against Yahweh, and they all gonna be killed. That's exactly what's gonna happen. But the Lord is gonna protect the elect, which, Lord willing, I'm one of them, because I ain't trying to be going through all of that. You know, I don't mind going through all of it, but, you know, I hope that I'm one of them, because that's what the race is for, to make your calling, your election sure, to where Yahweh will hear you, you know. And that's just, you know, the numbers appearing that way. Those numbers appearing like that is the presence of the Lord. The Lord is watching those of us that, you know, is doing the work and doing what we can to show you how about Shemi Al-Shai, that we love him, and we want to, you know, we are in the house of the Lord, but, you know, the Lord is going to exalt the ones that are meant to be beamed up and to be taken away, you know, and they don't have to die here, you know. So with that, one more last verse. Bring one more last verse. And this is for just to make it clear, Israel is the only nation that can be saved. You Negroes, you Mexicans, and you Native Indians, you Native Americans, you Native Indians, you guys are the true children of Israel. And God say, y'all the only ones that can go. Everybody, the whole other nation is not going anywhere. No, all the other nations ain't going. No white people are going. So you better do what you got to do. And if some of you guys are married to these white people and all that and have built up a damn legacy off them, God is going to violently rip you away from them. That's just what it is, man. You better let it go. Because when these times coming, you're going to wish you never had no shit like that. It says, Jeremiah 31, chapter 1. Jeremiah 31, verse 1. It says, at that time, says Yahweh, I will be the God of all the families of Israel, the only nation granted for salvation, and they shall be my people. Okay? So this is around the time where the Lord is going to be like, these my people. And that's what the white man is doing with these demonizations. He's showing the children of Israel, you can't do nothing against the Bible. You can only work for it. So the white man is fulfilling his role, as crafty as he is, because that's pretty crafty that you would do that. Talking about a gunman ran up and said shalom to Mike Tyson and then walked away. That's a staged act. And you have Israelites on the side of the white man, house niggas. Whenever the children of Israel will rebel, and it will be a successful rebellion during slave times, they will go and kill the slave driver, kill his family, kill the wife, kill the children, and then they would kill the house niggas that would support and protect them, because they were so hypnotized, they were so brainwashed, hypnotized, and they felt like it was special treatment to where they didn't want to see the white man fall. So the niggas would beat them to death. The free slaves would beat the house niggas to death, and they would hang them. And they would, or dismembering them and hang them, because it was a sign of disrespect. That's what those 2/3 are. They house niggas that won't leave the master's side. They hypnotize into being with their master, into loving this white man. So we got to put them niggas down, but the Lord is going to do that first. The Lord going to throw the blow. That's why I pray I get the power, because I'm going to put them niggas down. They got to go. You don't want to stop doing what you're doing. You don't want to change. You don't need to be in the world no more, So it says, thus says Yahweh, the people who survived the sword, because the gun, everybody going to be blazing, guns blazing fury, watch. It said, wait, man. And if this collapse happened during somewhat the middle term of the summer, this is going to be bad. This is going to be hell on earth. Found grace in the wilderness, Israel, when I went to give him rest. So that's the elect, the chosen that's meant to survive these events. It says, Yahweh has appeared of old to me, saying, yes, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Because God is going to allow those of us that's trying to get away from all this violence and all this chaos, he's going to make a way for us, whether he put it in our spirit to kill, to get through all of this, or we just immediately find a place to hide and to live and to dwell until it's time for us to move to the next place, because we're going to be like pilgrims on the earth, because they're going to stop looking for the 2/3, because the 2/3, they're going to convert to get the mark of the beast. But that's not to say for the elect and for the Lord's chosen. Them the ones that the white man is looking for. He's looking for the prophets, the high prophets, the Israelites, Right now, we not in hiding right now. We in plain sight. But when all the chaos ensue, we'll ditch everything and we'll go into hiding. Like the Lord said, that's a part of the plan. And it says the Lord has appeared of old, meaning that the true name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the true name of his son Yahweh Shai, and the truth about the world and the truth about the Bible we knew. So that's the Lord appearing to us of old. It says, yes, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, loving and kindness I have drawn you. I will build you, and you shall be rebuilt, O Virgin of Israel. You shall again be adorned with your tabrines, and shall go forth in the dances, and those who rejoice. You shall plant vines on the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall eat them and as ordinary food. For there shall be a day when the watchman will cry on Mount Ephraim, meaning that we gonna get the world back. But we in a process of healing process. It says, and Israel will and arise, let us go up to Zion, says Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our God. For thus says Yahweh, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Proclaim, give praise, and say, Yahweh, save your people, the remnant of Israel, the elect. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the ends of the earth. Among them the blind and lame, the woman with child, and those who labors with the child together. So those people that came back, whether you blind and you still heard the word and you believed, you know what I'm saying? Or you lame and you couldn't go out there and do the work like you wanted to, but you still believe, you still study, you still do what you needed to do. The woman with a child and the one who labors with child together, they believe, because even pregnant women going to be taken up if they believe. It says, and the one, well, actually, no, not the pregnant women. The women with children, yeah, because it says woe to women with child. So if you're pregnant or you got like a little baby or whatever, it could put you in danger during these times. So it says, and the one who labors with child together, a great throng shall return there. Exactly. So the elect and the remnant is a nice little piece out of the 2/3 that's going to make it and survive. A nice little decent piece. So it's going to be a couple of thousands of the elect that's going to make it. Some of them is going to get granted spiritual power to protect them, and some of them, to the amazement of white people, they're going to slip out of any danger that they get put in. That's because the spirit of Yahweh is going to put the angels on them to guide them out of trouble, to keep them away from these terrible events that are happening. Because the Lord know, okay, you came back. It's not you. It's these wicked 2/3. So it says, they shall come with weeping, and with supplications I will lead them. I will cause them to walk by the way of the rivers of waters, in a straight way in which they shall not stumble. For I am the father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. So Israel is the firstborn, and that's the only people that God is dealing with. All these other nations, they're gone. They're wiped out. It's over. So now we know that America is about to be destroyed, and the collapse is imminent, because that's what the lady was saying. That's what everybody is saying. The collapse is imminent. It's closer than what you think. It's so bad that it could happen within a couple of days. That's how fast the collapse is coming. Fast. So, the best thing to do is to get spiritually prepared and return to Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the name of Yahweh, and go back to the Lord and get into the house before the doors of repentance close. Because while the famine and the sword and the pestilence is taking over, the Bible is about to lock up for good. And those of them that don't believe in the Lord and don't believe in Yahweh, when they consider it, they're going to try to seek the Lord, and he ain't going to be found. And they ain't going to be able to open this book and just go and break down the scriptures and go and explain what's going on. They not even gonna know. It's like they gonna open a book and there ain't gonna be nothing in the pages. Gonna be blank. They just gonna be blank white pages because you had your chance. So that's for those people that's gonna try to come back at the last minute. It ain't gonna be no prophets around. It ain't gonna be nobody that know who Yahweh Shem Yahushai is. Either they gonna be dead or in hiding. So it's best just to get prepared, man, because in the next couple of weeks it's gonna go down. It's already done. It's already in the works. The Lord has already threw a critical blow, and these nations are mad, and they are determined to destroy America. So, call on Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the name of Yahushai, and to the next to the next video, Lord willing, and you guys enjoy your day, and shalom. It's on to the next video.